Good morning, guys. I hope you're all warm and safe again this weekend. It is Sunday, February 1st. It is a full moon. We are moving out of last year and into the year of the horse. As of this morning, things feel a lot lighter, let's say, than January. Since July, and I've talked about this in my recent videos, it's been one hit after another, one wave of energy after another, coming in faster, stronger, more intensely to clear and purge old emotions, old habits, old programming, old stuff in the field, mentally, emotionally, etherically, energetically, right? All the things. It's all coming up for attention, right? We can look at it and transmute it, whatever it is, from this lifetime and our past lives. Or we can continue to numb out and ignore these emotions that are coming up automatically because vibrationally they cannot exist here anymore. I cannot repeat myself enough when I say that to you guys. The frequency of this earth, her heartbeat is rising. We can rise with her, or we can exit and incarnate somewhere else where we can finish our soul lessons, right? There's no right or wrong decision there. We all end up in the same place eventually, right? But this video, I wanted to touch on addiction, right? Old toxic habits, toxic traits, toxic coping mechanisms, right? For those of you who have followed me for a long time, you guys are very well aware. I have touched on this before. Since my mother passed away in 2007, I have abused alcohol to the point that I don't even know how I'm still alive, right? For many years, I was a functioning alcoholic, meaning I could show up to work looking somewhat put together, play the role of normal human for the day, and then fuck off and go home and drink myself into oblivion, wake up and do it all again, right? It's a miserable, existence. And so in these last 8 months that I've been fortunate enough to be here in Jersey, I know I've been dogging it, right? Being here with my dad in this quiet little retirement town where there's nothing to do, no one to see. On the other side of it, you guys, the lessons that I'm realizing I came here to learn are tenfold, 100-fold, right? They're so important, right? As far as my soul contract on this planet. I was supposed to come home and get sober again, right? The last time before I started making videos again back in 2020, this is the last time you guys saw me. I was sober back then. I was almost a year sober before I picked up another drink, right? But to say all that, it's not about alcohol, right? It's about why we abuse certain things to numb our feelings, to numb our mental state, to numb the uncomfortability of this human life, right? I would drink if I was happy. I would drink if I was sad. I would drink if I had a great day and I was celebrating. I would drink if I was fucking angry at somebody and some shit went down, right? I found any excuse to get fucked up. And again, it wasn't just alcohol, right? And so I'm making this video for you guys because I did receive a message or a comment on my video from last week, my Unseen War Between Dark and Light video, where I basically just broke down to you guys what had gone down between my father and myself as far as that, what do you guys call it? These kids call it crash out these days. That crash out that I had with my father. Some gentleman, and I hope you're watching, sir, I love you. He left a comment saying I seem very emotionally unstable and he thinks I need help. And my first response to that is, hey dude, you got any help for me? You got the answers, right? Let me know. I need some, right? But I also wish to say, I have never sought actual help in my whole life until now, right? I have been in intensive therapy. I have been in intensive recovery program since I moved home May 1st. And in the self-accountability of it all, in taking inventory of my entire life and trying to understand why I am the way I am, why I have chosen to numb myself with substances or habits or, whatever it is, since for as long as I can remember, right? And in my therapeutic healing, in my purging, in my understanding of myself and the clarity of sobriety, I now understand that this all started back as a child, when I didn't understand the nature of my mom's illness. My mom was very, very sick my whole life with a litany of different ailments. And as a child, I didn't understand what was going on. I was in extreme fear about her health, about her survival, right? I didn't want my mom to die. Like, I knew my mom was different than all the other moms, but nobody sat me down and explained to me it's all going to be okay, right? So I began to develop these obsessive compulsive numbing tactics, these numbing habits, right? My therapist calls them self-preservation actions or habits or whatever it is, to put up walls and feel safe, right? As a kid, before bed, every night I started with these rituals where I would do certain things before I went to sleep, because in my mind, it made me feel like I had some sort of control over the fact that my mom would be alive the next day, right? It's crazy to even say that out loud, but these are the things I'm understanding in this work that I've been doing. So thank you for your comments, sir. It's really had me reflecting this past week and understanding. Obviously, a comment like that comes from somebody who just mentally is not, energetically and mentally not understanding the words that are coming out of my mouth. The vibration just isn't matching, and that's fine. But more importantly, this comment that was left by this young man or old man, I don't know who you are, made me realize, like, wow, yeah, like I have been emotional in my latest wave of videos since I started posting again this past fall, right? And I honor that, right? I honor that, the tears, the ability to observe my emotional cleansing and purging in a way that's healthy, see things from a higher perspective, right? There's no outbursts, there's no projection of toxicity, there's none of that. And so if my emotions in my recent videos make you guys uncomfortable, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. This is the very first time in 40 some odd years that I've been able to actually truly sit in my heart space and come from a place of unconditional love for this entire earth experience, right? And all of the crazy shit that I have witnessed in my time here this time around, right? The good, the bad, the ugly. Yeah, in the moment I feel hurt or pain or sadness or whatever those 3D human ego things are that we are all here to experience. But from a higher perspective, I'm so grateful to be coming from a place of my heart, to not have walls up to protect myself, right? And so thank you, sir, for your comment. It's leveled me up a notch in my understanding of myself, right? And in understanding myself and sharing my own journey, I hope to help you guys understand your own shit, right? I don't know it all. I can only share from my own experience, but that's why I make videos in the first place. To share my journey and my experience, not only in the healing and processing of my own stuff, because back then when I woke up, I didn't have anyone to talk to, right? But more importantly, it's become understanding that I am helping you guys. I get messages from so many of you guys being like, yo, you're helping me a lot. So I'm very grateful to be in my heart. As a kid growing up until recently, I never was but I never really cried. I wasn't emotional growing up because I had to be the tough one, right? And so in that shift into my heart and processing these, feelings and old things and realizing certain reasons why I've been the way I've been, why I've done the things I've done, right? In full self-accountability and self-responsibility for why my life was, and will be the way it is, right? I honor those tears, right? So as far as addiction goes, you guys, so many of us as sensitives, when we're young, we don't understand. What's this guy doing? Come on, bro. We develop, numbing mechanisms, right, that are toxic. As far as my drinking, it wasn't just about drinking, right? After I started with those obsessive compulsive actions as a young child, at the age of maybe 11 or 12, I started pulling my hair out, right? I would sit in the bathroom mirror on the counter and I would pull my hair out one by one until my hands were cramping, right? Because in some sick, weird way, it was a self-soothing action that I was taking, right? Just like when you hear about people that cut themselves, right? Or they eat a ton of food and then force themselves to vomit it. Vomiting is like one of the most horrible things you experience as a human. It's awful, right? But people do it for a sense of relief, as far as the cutting or bulimia or whatever the fuck it is, right? That's in the moment an act of self-harm. But in the moment, subconsciously, it gives you some sense of relief, right? I understand why people would cut themselves. And thank God I've never done anything like that. But I understand why people do, right? And so I make this video for you guys. I say all this to say, like, take a really good look at the things that you do every day to kind of check out of reality, right? Or disassociate from certain situations, because we need to be looking at these things and clearing them, right? I pulled out my hair. I didn't understand it. I thought I was fucking crazy at the time. I had a bald spot the size of a baseball right in the front of my fucking head. From there it was food, and then it was masturbation, and then it was, masturbation. The feeling of orgasm. I was so fucking young when I first discovered orgasm. I was young, and just that feeling of euphoria and release was something so addictive to me that I just wanted to chase it. In fact, one of the most embarrassing stories of my entire life, I can't believe I'm about to tell you guys this, but I am, because I'm me. One of the most embarrassing stories of my whole life, probably top 3 most embarrassing moments, was my sister and I had a playroom right next to our guest suite downstairs in our home growing up. And when my grandparents from Florida would come stay, they would stay in that guest suite downstairs next to our playroom. And my fucking grandmother, God rest her soul, she would shuffle back and forth from the kitchen hallway to the room, to the kitchen hallway to the room, and she would come through our room in doing so. And one day, I would lay in our beanbag in front of the TV, and I would fucking rub one out every day, all day, as much as I could, right? She fucking saw me, I guess. She was like hiding to see what I was doing, and apparently told my mom that she was very concerned. My mom had to have a sit down talk with me about what was going on, and I have never been more fucking mortified in my entire life. I wanted to crawl into a hole and die, right? But again, it was another form of self-release, self-soothing. From there, it was weed. I discovered weed at 13, 14 years old. I was 14 when I first smoked weed. The second I felt that high, I was high every day, all day from there on out, right? And then it was alcohol. Then it was Adderall, which I was prescribed in college by a professor who sent me for an ADD test. I got super fucking addicted to that shit, right? So it doesn't matter what the substance is, what the action is. If you're a gambler, if you're a food addict, if you're a shopping addict, if you're this, that, the other. Take a look at what goes on in your day-to-day that could be improved, that could be looked at more deeply, right? Because this is the time to be doing it. We have to heal. We have to look at and transmute and transform these old frequencies, these old dense energies that are sitting in our fields, in our subconscious from, again, this lifetime and all the rest that have come before this one. It's all coming up for review right now. So that's why I share these things with you guys. My name is Ashley, and I guess I'm an addict, right? But then that goes back to like the AA thing. Like, I'm not an AA big book thumper. I'm not like, it gets a little culty sometimes. And like, also in my healing, I really just want to surround myself with people that I aspire to be, right? I don't really want to be stuck in the trenches with the rest of the people trying to figure shit out. I want to be led and guided by people who I look up to. And so the AA thing, yeah, there's so many beautiful, amazing, wonderful things about AA. Truly. And I'm very grateful for the program, right? But again, like the labeling of it all. Like, I am an addict. Like, you know? So, that's what I wanted to speak on today, right? Thank you. All right, well, stay warm. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Looks like we were able to misdirect those frequencies that were being sent back over this weekend to bring us another crazy cyclone, whatever the fuck they're calling it these days. Anyone with two eyes and somewhat of a brain can see what's going on, right? It's all a bunch of cockamamie bullshit. But there's a large group of us that have been intentfully directing these frequencies away from the East Coast and out over the ocean, and it looks like it worked, right? Happy Sunday. I have a double shift that I'm heading to right now. It's going to be a beautiful, wonderful day. I just wanted to share some of my story as far as, you know, my experience with these toxic traits and toxic habits that, again, we all develop in our lives to cope with this physicality, this, you know, dramatically emotional 3D human existence on Earth, right? You know, take yourself out of the victim role. The woe is me. Everything fucking sucks. Everyone's horrible. What's happening to that? Like, once you take yourself out of that and look at everything for what it is, it's pretty fantastical, right? It's pretty magnanimous to understand that, like, we signed up to experience all these things. The good, the bad, the ugly, right? And so now that I can look at things that way, it's so freeing, and it's like a big weight has been lifted, right? Instead of saying to myself, God, I'm 40 years old and I'm still healing from alcohol or whatever the fuck it is, right? And feeling sort of behind in my life, because that's the programming on this planet, that at my age you're supposed to be married with kids and securely financially stable and, you know, own this and own that and have this and have certain accolades and whatever's. You know, in taking myself out of those feelings of lack, I empower myself in this experience of where I'm at, and I honor it so much, you guys. So I hope this helps you. I hope you resonate with what I'm saying, because it's not just me, and that's why I'm sharing this with you. So I love you. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. I hope you guys set some intentions for this full moon. It's a powerful one. Dream time has been lit these last 48 hours, right? So, you know, do whatever it is you do for your full moon. Ritual stuff, right? Put your crystals out, make some moon water, do some journaling, some intention setting, some crystal gridding, some whatever it is for you, right? And take the time to invite that sacred energy in, because it's very powerful and it's very much here, right? So I love you. I'm going to stop rambling now because I'm almost at work, but I'll see you guys very soon. Ciao for now.